According to the investigation, Rimuru had been born from the magicule pool that leaked from Veldora. And yet, Rimuru devoured all of the Storm Dragon, his parent, and transformed himself into the fifth true dragon, Ultimate Slime. Immediately after, the slime began to take human form. He had a single sword in his hand, and not a scrap of clothing. He looked around 15 to 16 years old. At a height of only 160 centimeters or so, it was not an exaggeration to say that he was of small stature. However, the amount of magicule contained within him was not only comparable to Veldora's, but it also surpassed it. His golden eyes were large and beautiful, as if they could see through everything. His silvery hair was lightly tinged with light blue, giving off a moonlit glow. He had no gender, and his face was more dainty than beautiful. However, the divine presence that he gave off was sublimely transformed into beauty. His dazzling white skin was cloaked in an aura of black and gold. Rudra, you see. He reached his limits long ago. He reincarnated himself so many times that it wore his soul out. What you see there is Rudra, but it's also not. He's long been replaced by Michael, Lord of Justice. Rudra once held pure and idealistic dreams of creating a perfect world where disputes could be settled with words rather than violence. The man with these naive ideals was slowly corroded away over time as Michael's control took control over his mind, his exhausted soul being chipped away by repeated rebirths, only serving to exacerbate the problem. Eventually, nothing more remained than an echo of his former self, a complete thrall to Michael that was imparted with the harsh ideologies of absolute justice and might make right.